Okay, so now that you went through the installation, the products inside the car, now what you're going to do is you're going to go flash for the firmware. So usually the first time the black box is turned on inside the car, it goes down the CAN bus and it finds the VIN on the bus and it starts broadcasting that back. This one has already been flashed for a firmware, so what I'm going to do is demonstrate what it looks like once you repair to the unit. So to repair, to get back into the configure screen, you're going to turn the ignition on, you're going to take the press and hold the valet button. Just like you're pairing a remote, enters into pairing mode. Then on the app, I'm going to hit configure, and it finds it. You can see it shows a picture of the Jeep, shows the make, model, year, and then it also shows the module ID. The module ID is located on the back of the device. In some instances, if you got a lot of cars in the bay, you're going to see all of them listed here. So some of our expediters, they may have 10 Jeeps in the bay. So we wanted to put the ID there so you can make sure you pair to the right one and you change the functions on the one that you have. So once you select this, it's going to make the handshake from Bluetooth here to Bluetooth inside that box. It says paired successfully. I say OK. Once you're paired successfully, you turn off the ignition. So I could start over and start a new firmware, going back, and this is the same firmware as we saw when we looked at the guide. Or I can go in and edit. So when I go in and edit, you can see it shows the firmware version, shows the automatic transmission, it's remote start and security, 3-lock start is on, it's a Viper, and it has no remote selection. Going into features, I can go in and change anything I want into these buckets: security, convenience, and remote start. The most commonly changed or updated feature within the product is when a consumer, after you do the install, they go home, they find out that it's still cold in their car after it's been running for 12 minutes, they want you to update the runtime. Today, you have to go out to the car, you have to disassemble some panel, you have to find the module, you have to connect into it, and then get your bit writer or your XK Loader 3 to change the runtime. With this, you just go out there, turn the ignition on, hit it, tap and hold on the IVU, and you're back in, doing exactly what I'm doing right now, and you just change the runtime. Take you less than a few seconds. Then once you do that, you go back and you hit flash, next, and then you're going to reflash it. I'm not going to flash this one yet because I'm going to show you a couple other things. But if you flash, you would update the runtime, they're on their way. Take you less than 2 minutes to do that. So the other cool feature here is we figured that a lot of these are going to be sold with no remotes. So people will be using 3-lock start, they might be using smart start, or they might be using just the factory fob. So going into advanced, this is going to enable a lot of the installers to check what's going on with the device. So you can see we have a full outlay of the car. We have all the function buttons on this side, and if I start tapping buttons, you saw it just lock, it shows lock on the pad. I hit unlock, it shows unlock. If I hit start, you can hear the remotes. They're winding up to show remote start. And then you'll see the engine on in the car. And if I shut down remote start, you hear that all the remotes shut down as well. I just hit it twice. So the other cool thing is they can check all the connections and make sure that everything's good. So over here I have door, I have brake, I have hood, I have all these functions I can check, and if I had trunk listed here, I could show all of the functions to make sure all the wire connections are made and they're secure. The other element here, there's a 3-in-1 sensor. So you can see I have a temperature up here at 78 degrees. That's the temperature that it is in here right now. So when you use a DS4 and you configure it for remote start and security, and you use this 3-in-1 sensor that does shock, tilt, and temp, this becomes your temp sensor. The 2-pin that was in there before that I talked about, you no longer have to use that. The temp sensing is done from this sensor itself. So you can see the sensor here. And now if I go back, I can check sensors, and I have tilt and I have shock. I can check and adjust all the sensitivity of those, up and down, however I see fit. And you can still also adjust these from the remote, just like you used to be able to do on the analog products. So once you get all the settings done, you're just going to go into the device and you're going to flash it. Once you exit this app, like I'm back to this screen, you can see I configure, I'm no longer connected to the device. As soon as you back out of that screen, you're out. It won't find it until I put it in pairing mode again. So once this is done, the installation is complete and the system is functioning.